In this video, we're going to discuss shifting assets to maximize aid. And this is a follow-up from one of the original videos we did on how to maximize your need-based eligibility for financial aid. And one of the things that we discussed in the previous video was non-qualified accounts and exactly what is in or what is considered a non-qualified account. Non-qualified money is anything that is not sitting in a retirement account. So that could be your checking, savings, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, any kind of trust assets, rental properties that you may have. So anything that is not in a retirement account is considered a non-qualified asset. And as we mentioned in the previous videos, those non-qualified assets have a negative effect to the tune of 5.64% of account value in terms of lowering your need-based eligibility. What does that mean? That means if you have a total of $100,000 sitting in a non-qualified account, you would be assessed $5,640 towards your baseline cost for college or your EFC. So with that in mind is if you have money in checking, saving, stocks, bonds, mutual funds that are increasing your expected family contribution or baseline cost for college, the first bullet point that we recommend is, pay off your primary mortgage with the non-qualified money. The beauty of that is that it will now increase your need-based eligibility by decreasing the value of the non-qualified account value. Next, the second bullet point is maximize contribution towards retirement accounts. This is something that you can speak to any of us here at College Spire about in terms of what can you do to maximize your contributions. Does it make fiduciary sense to possibly set up a home industry or set up a company which will then allow you to do catch-ups, for example, to your SEP plan? So once again, that's a conversation we can have specifically with you, since every family's needs are going to be unique and specific to their situation. Third bullet point is start a business. As we mentioned in the previous video, any small business that is owned by more than 51% of a family member, the assets therein are sheltered for financial need-based consideration as long as you have less than 100 employees, For example, if you have a rental property that is worth a considerable amount of money and has a considerable amount of equity, let's say that you have $500,000, worth of equity in a rental property. Now, if this is separate from your primary, that is going to be considered an asset. And that $500,000 is going to cost you an additional $25,000 of what would you call it? Your expected family contribution. So your EFC will increase by over $25,000 if we use the rule of thumb of 5.64% multiplied by the value of your non-qualified asset. If you were to start an LLC, or if you have a C Corp or S Corp already, if it makes fiduciary sense and it doesn't increase your tax basis but helps your tax basis, one of the things that you may want to consider is shifting the rental property into a business so that it then becomes sheltered. And once again, that is going to be allowed by the Higher Education Reconciliation Act that was proposed and then enacted by President George Bush in 2005. And once again, so that's one way of saving $25,000 worth of college costs on an annual basis by shifting a non-qualified asset into a sheltered account. The last bullet point, consider shifting assets to permanent insurance products. Just like we talked about in the previous video, any account values that are in a permanent whole life, index universal life, variable universal life, and or annuity are going to be sheltered for financial need-based consideration at the majority of the colleges around the United States. Once again, you have to be very careful when you do these planning strategies because they do not work for all colleges. However, any of the schools that do not subscribe to the CSS profile, all of these strategies that we just talked about will help benefit you in helping you maximize your need-based aid.